The one thing. This is your life filled with your family, your job, bills, and much more, all with a full calendar chasing success. But success comes from narrowing your focus, getting to the one thing. Huge results come from a narrow focus. A cool fact about dominoes is that one domino can bring down another 50% larger. If the first domino is 2 inches, then at this rate the 23rd domino would be the height of the Eiffel Tower and the 57th would almost be the distance to the moon. This example demonstrates how extraordinary results are sequential, one thing at a time, not simultaneous, and how something small can grow into something extraordinarily huge if you just keep going. There are 6 lies the world tells us about the path to success: equality of tasks, multitasking, discipline, willpower, balance, and that big is bad. Equality is a lie. Success isn't some game that you can win by being busy, but rather who is most productive. Productive people always work from a sense of priority, and that's the problem with to-do lists. They inherently lack the intent of success. They are lists that are made to more get you through your day, rather than as stepping stones so that you can build your life. Instead, you need to create a success list, something short and purposeful to focus on what you should do, not could do, and build your ideal life. We have found ourselves trying to do too much in too little time. For example, you can walk and talk on the phone at the same time, but you aren't really focusing on either, and this is because of channels. As long as they don't intersect, you can do 2 things, but you can't focus on either, and thus the quality of your performance goes down. Going on, researchers have found that workers are interrupted every 11 minutes and then spend a third of their day recovering from interruptions. This phenomenon is often referred to as task swiping. It causes you to have to switch and reorient your focus every time there is a distraction, causing a large chunk of time to be lost. Instead, it's much better to do your primary work in one large block. This helps minimize the time lost to distraction, which can increase the time it takes you to do a task from 25% to 100%. What can you do in this lost time? Discipline isn't some elusive trait that only a few lucky people have. It is just a short race, just until habit takes over. Discipline builds habits which take much less energy to sustain than discipline, and thus success is habitually based. In 2009, researchers at the University College of London tested how long it would take to establish a habit. A habit was characterized as 95% through the effort curve, requiring 5% effort to sustain. The sweet spot was 66 days, not the 21 preached in self-help circles. So just remember, success is habitual, so build great habits with self-discipline. A common misconception about willpower is that it is just one part, strength of character, but the other part is actually timing. We set ourselves up for failure by not associating our success to our willpower or misunderstanding what willpower is. Willpower is not some magical endless pot of gold, but rather more like an old phone. The less battery you have, the slower your phone works. You have to manage it. For a more scientific example, your brain is 1/50th of the mass in your body, but consumes 1/5 of the calories you intake. If your brain were a car, it would be the gas-guzzling Hummer. A 2007 study even confirmed that willpower is depleted that was published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found a drop in glucose levels, a type of sugar, in the participants' bloodstreams who exercised willpower. So you must manage willpower because when willpower is low, you drop back to your default settings, which are often average or below average choices. So you must identify what time of the day your willpower starts to wane and thus recharge, whether it be in the morning, afternoon, or at night, as well as identify what taxes your willpower and delegate to the most important tasks. Willpower could be seen as an inconvenience or as a valuable resource as long as you manage it like one. A balanced life is a great idea, but that is about it, a great idea. In philosophy, the concept of balance is best expressed through the golden mean, the middle between 2 polar opposites. The middle is more desirable than being in either of the polar positions, and it just isn't practical no matter how grand. Extraordinary results come from extraordinary time commitments. And balance. There is a work-life balance where you always stay close to the middle, your comfort zone. But the thing is, the magic happens at the extremes, far away from your comfort zone. Knowing when to pursue the middle and when to pursue the extremes is the start of wisdom. Most importantly, you can't bet on time. Sacrificing time with your loved ones now for time later is still a bad bet, because you'll never get those lost experiences back. Playing with a toddler is very different than a teenager. There will always be things to do. You must counterbalance between work and life, and make sure that you never go too far that you can't come back. For some reason, through time, big and bad had become synonymous. We can call it megaphobia, the fear of big. If someone told you that your achievement had a ceiling and you had an option of how high that ceiling was, you would probably pick a higher ceiling. You don't want to limit yourself. So why do we insist on a low ceiling for our thoughts? You can't have big results with small thinking. It doesn't work that way. Big thinking leads to big action, which creates big outcome. So start thinking bigger. And as the late Steve Jobs said, the people who are crazy enough to believe they can change the world are the ones who do. Now that we've identified and learned not to trust the lies, what is the truth? Andrew Carnegie once said that it is trying to carry too many baskets that breaks the most eggs in this country. He was alluding to a culture where everyone tries to do so much to never focus on one thing and thus do everything with mediocrity. This is where the focus question comes in. It lets you focus on your one thing, values doing now instead of what you could do, and make sure that your answer has potential to change your life. And make sure your one thing is worth it. You want to have a big picture for your life and a small focus to take action. It lets you topple that first domino, because life is a question and the way you live it is your answer. Success is a habit, not a matter of discipline. The success habit is the act of determining what the most important one thing is in all parts of your life, whether it be your job, health, finances, or family. And the first step is to ask great questions. So first state a facet of your life, the category, then state your question, add a time frame for accountability, and then make sure that it has the potential to affect your life or just be meaningful. For example, for my job, what's the one thing I can do to ensure I hit my goals this week such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Great questions lead to great answers. Now, there are 4 categories of questions: big and specific, big and broad, and small and specific. The best way to ask questions is to make sure they are big and specific. These types of questions are focused as well as meaningful and have life-changing potential. Big and broad questions lack focus. Likewise, small and broad are the worst because they're neither life-changing or focused, whereas small and specific are also bad because they have no potential to change your life, despite being focused. There are 3 types of answers: doable, stretch, and possibility. You have to think of the type of answer you give as a box. Now, stretch answers are at the limit of your current self's ability without having to change yourself. But with a good question, the best answer is possibility. This is because possibility is outside of your box, and in order to reach it, you must reach outside of yourself, develop, and change. This is how you grow, making the journey much more valuable than the destination. This phenomena is called benchmark and trending. Your benchmark is at your box's border, and trending is walking and thinking outside of your box, changing yourself, and thus meaningful and life-changing possibilities are found outside of your comfort zone. Life is about creating yourself through great answers, not finding it. This is MTI, the movement towards improvement. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button and find us on Facebook. See you next time.